This is a real rut now. This is, by Manchester City standards, this is a crisis, and do not let anybody tell you otherwise.
A big shock out of the Premier League today as Manchester City fall 4-0. Yeah, that's right, 4-0 to Tottenham. And that is now 5 straight losses for them across all competitions. And get this, Man City have been outscored 14-4 in that span. What the heck is going on? Well, to help answer that question, we bring in our good friend Geoff Shreeves, who is dressed to the nines tonight. Geoff, thanks for joining us. What the heck is going on with Manchester City right now?
Oh, my days, Ali, Nigel. What I just can't believe what I just watched. And we're not talking about, okay, they've surrendered. They've not lost at home for 2 years, don't forget. November 22, when they lost at home to Brentford in the Premier League. It's not the fact that they've been beaten, and it's not the fact it's 5 games on the trot. They were absolutely pumped tonight. Spurs were superb. Manchester City have got deep problems, and this is not going to be an overnight fix. And, you know, ahead of the game, all the excitement around Pep signing a new deal, so that brings a real buzz. Rodri paraded, the Ballon d'Or, it was all set for them. And Spurs just took them apart. Spurs were absolutely excellent tonight, but Manchester City, as I say, this is a real rut now. This is, by Manchester City standards, this is a crisis, and do not let anybody tell you otherwise. By their standards, this is.
Geoff, would you say that this is the best balanced performance we've seen from a Tottenham side, where there's lots of criticism at Ange Postecoglou because he only knows one way to win football matches and doesn't want to tweak or change certain things? Was this an all-round Spurs performance that fans and people have been waiting to see?
100%, Nigel. And I think that was, if you like, encapsulated best by James Maddison. You know, we'll highlight his goals. We'll talk about his individual performance. You know, he's not been getting in the team either, has he? His craft, his creativity in the first half and the goals. Second half, so disciplined. His midfield display, a position you know as good as anybody. He was so good, as were the whole Tottenham team. The balance was absolutely spot on. It was a controlled, disciplined, tactically clever performance from Tottenham. Honestly, they were absolutely excellent tonight. And this is, and you can understand, can't you, Nigel? You know, the Tottenham fans going into this game, don't forget, you know, Ipswich lost at home to them, threw away a lead at Brighton. Even at 2-0 up, the Tottenham fans are probably not daring to dream at that point. But, oh my days, they were nothing short of superb.
Okay, so we're talking about the best win for Tottenham, best performance under Ange Postecoglou. Is this, Geoff, the worst performance that we've seen from Manchester City under Pep Guardiola?
I think so, Ali, because of the circumstances, because it's the fifth, and also the manner of the performance as well. And once we try and break that down exactly what went wrong, I mean, the biggest problem is the midfield. There is no question about that. Tottenham just danced through it at will. We saw it, and the players, now, obviously you're going to miss a player like Rodri. Kovacic was the replacement. He wasn't really doing it. He's out injured now. But then it just didn't happen for them. You know, not putting in the hard yards. Gundogan, Silva, just not doing the real basics, which is the essential part of that central midfield job. If you are the 6 in there, if you like, or the 4, you've got to do that. And they're just not doing it. They're porous right now, and that midfield is the biggest problem. I think the other problem they've got as well, they're over-reliant on Erling Haaland for goals. When he doesn't score, they don't score, it would seem, right now. So there's a lot for Pep Guardiola to fix.
Yeah, Geoff, it's great that you touch on that midfield area, because watching that game, I felt that Tottenham won that game because of their midfield. You talk about Saab, Osima and Maddison. They bullied that midfield and controlled the game. What Manchester City didn't do, in my opinion, was take advantage of the makeshift back four for Tottenham, and you'd have felt that they would have put more pressure on Dragusin, who came out having a great game for Tottenham, because Erling Haaland played to his strengths. Dragusin is a defender that likes the physical battle, likes to go one-on-one, and that's the kind of game that Erling Haaland gave to him. And the worrying thing as well, Geoff, Erling Haaland isn't being as clinical to the standards we've seen him be. So he's starting to miss a lot of very simple chances you'd expect goals from.
Yeah, I think, you know, that is part of the overall picture, isn't it, Nigel? You know, they've got problems in midfield and they've got big problems in their talisman, their leading goal scorer, the man who they are so reliant upon. he isn't scoring goals and he's also missing chances. Now, some people will say, well, if you're there, you've got the chances, then you'll convert them soon. But he looks as though right now it's just not happening for him, is it? And also, I spoke on Morning Footy on Friday, and I said, look, don't forget, Spurs are Manchester City's bogey team. Let's not forget that. They've beaten Manchester City more and scored more goals against Manchester City in the Premier League than any other team. So they have got a bit of an Indian sign over them. Of course, they beat them in the Carabao a few weeks ago as well. But, it's a different type of competition. This was now a different intensity. It was after the international break. As I said, Pep signed his contract, and it was, OK, Man City, they don't do 5 in a row. Reboot, here we go, let's hunt down Liverpool. But Tottenham, when I saw the team today, no Romero, no Van der Ven, who are huge players for Tottenham, it just makes the win for Tottenham Hotspur today even more impressive. I thought every single player put in a real shift the way they combined. They played with intelligence, they played with awareness, and they also played with spirit. They did the hard yards as well. They shut down, they closed down, their press was excellent. They harried Manchester City. Do you know what they did, Nigel? They did not respect them at all. They took them on. They went toe-to-toe to Manchester City, and they got their reward.
Geoff, just one more thing that Ali and I would like to get your opinion on before we let you go. Is there a big worry for Manchester City where this run of games that they've had where they've lost results, and obviously it's something new for Pep, there's more responsibility on the players. It's been more individual mistakes from players than it is to really lay the blame on Pep Guardiola and his teams and tactics. So is there a worry now that players are making so many mistakes that we're not used to seeing from a Manchester City side coached by Pep Guardiola?
Absolutely. I mean, no question. We can see the results tell you that they're in a slump, and the performances tell you that they're in a slump as well. So collectively, the manager and the players have got to get it going, and they've got to fix it quickly as well. Don't forget, it's Champions League midweek and then Liverpool. So, time doesn't wait for anybody right now. Liverpool tonight, they'll never say it publicly, of course, they will be licking their lips. In the Premier League, these chances have not come around for a long, long time. We do not see Manchester City labouring, do we? It just doesn't happen. Right now, Liverpool were thinking, right, we've had a good start to the season. We've done that ourselves. We deserve the credit ourselves, and quite rightly. But all of a sudden, there is a real opportunity for them to put their foot on the pedal and really go some.
That's going to be fun.
Just make sure before we say goodbye, it's Sir Geoff and not Geoff. Do you not see how well dressed he is? It's Sir Geoff. Sir Geoff.
Is it as Alexis
I've got to confess that I went to Luton Town this afternoon, who also needed a win. They were at home to Hull City, and I was invited into the boardroom. And as you know, it is the correct attire for the boardroom.
You look 10 out of 10, Geoff.
Yes, Sir
Nigel
Geoff.
Coker, who always is dressing, in his finest garb. He approves of this fit tonight.
He's been knighted today by us. Yeah,
listen, I only dressed smart. It was nothing to do with Nigel. I knew I was on with the glamorous Ali, so I had to dress up.
Exactly. You look great, Geoff. Thanks so much for the time. As always, huge result today as Tottenham beat Manchester City 4-0. And now Liverpool 5 points clear atop the table with a chance to make it 8 coming up this weekend.